Yeah, are you all able to see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So, till now we looked at NumPy. I hope you all just saw what NumPy is about, what all it can do potentially, and all, and how you could apply it in the future. There's also this like eigenvalue and stuff which I didn't go through, but there are a lot of functions you can find on your own. So now we'll start with pandas. So if you remember, pandas is for like data manipulation and you have tables and stuff. So I gave this data set here, the drive link for the data set. I hope you all have downloaded it. We'll be like using this data to manipulate stuff. All right. So first of all, that data, let's just take a look at it. Okay. What that data is about and how it looks like and all. Okay, so just by taking a raw look, let's see what we are able to understand. So we have this customer ID. So apparently there are customers and this is their ID 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. This is the product they have bought, iPhone, lighting charging cable, wired headphones and all. And then the quantity they ordered, like 1, 1, 2, 1 and all. The price of each of the product they bought. So this guy like bought 2 and price of each was 11.99. So total would be 22.98. And this is their address. This is all US stuff. So yeah, the customers, their salary, so that's 50,000, 88,000, 61,000 and all. Coder, it means like if they had done competitive programming in their life before, that is what is meant by coders. And the language worked with, so what all languages they have worked in past. Now don't pay a lot of attention to like if they are not coders then how are they working. Just assume that this is like this. Okay, I've kind of combined two different data sets. Like this was one data set and I could make some good questions from this data set, and then there was this another data set and I could make some good questions from this. So I kind of just combined both of them, and that's why it might look a little weird, but okay, we're looking at some good stuff. Now we can clearly see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns, and if we just take a look at the rows, so we have around 9,698 rows. So since these are only 9,000 rows, we can potentially use like Excel to do data analysis and all. I intentionally didn't took like a big data. Like I had this data which had like 1,88,000 rows, but like to like see and go through all of this would be difficult for you guys, so I just took a part of that data and I took like 9,697 rows. Okay, so this is the data, and yeah, so this data also, if I go to properties, you can see that this is a comma separated file, a CSV file. What is meant by a CSV is all the values are separated by commas. So if I open this with Notepad, we can see there's customer ID, comma, then product, comma, then quantity, then quantity ordered, then comma, price each, then comma, and below that you have all the rows values, and they are also separated by commas. We open this with help of Excel to view it in this form, and here it says possible data loss and all. Some features might be lost because this is saved in comma delimited like .csv format. To like preserve the features, you need to save it in Excel format, but we won't be using Excel for analysis. Otherwise we would save it as .xlsx or .xsl. So we would be using pandas for this. I'll just close this. So any doubts with the data set? Like I don't think there'd be any doubts, but still anything you want to ask? CSV, Excel and everything.
No, sir.
Okay, so I'll continue. Now what I want you all to do is I want you to open two notebooks together. Okay, just make new notebooks. Two new notebooks. And I'll name this one SCOSH snippet, SCOSH panda snippet. you guys can give the same name, like it would help you. SCOSH panda snippet, and this would be SCOSH pandas main. So the reason we are making two, does anyone know how to, like, how does this go away? Okay, so the reason we are making two notebooks is because, so you have this super duper big data set, right? And now if I directly import this into pandas and start applying function on it, it would be kind of difficult for you to imagine and see all those changes happening, right? So what I thought about the method of teaching was, in this snippet file, snippet means a short part of something. Okay, the literal word snippet, English word, means short part of something. So about the method of teaching, I thought that in this snippet file, I would make a table of my own, a very small table which would have 4 rows and 4 columns. Okay, and then in this main file, we will like import the big data set and then apply those changes here. Okay, so that you will be able to see all the changes in this short data frame. You will be able to visualize it कि कैसे कैसे छोटे छोटे changes हो रहे हैं, and then उसका application अपन बड़े data set पे देखेंगे. So does that sound cool?
Yes, sir.
क्योंकि मैं बड़ा लाइक इंपोर्ट करके सब उस पर चालू हो जाऊँ बैंकर तो कुछ पता नहीं चलेगा क्या हो रहा है. लाइक 10,000 रोज है बट तुम्हें लाइक 5 ही दिखेंगी सिर्फ, तो एग्जैक्टली चेंज हो रहा है या नहीं कुछ ऐसे शुरू में पता नहीं चलेगा. सो यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा अपन खुद का टेबल बनाएंगे एंड देन उस पर वो करेंगे. ओके, सो द फर्स्ट थिंग यू वांट टू डू इज इम्पोर्ट pandas, and we'll do import pandas as pd. Again, future में जब भी pandas की feature अपन को use करना होगा, we'll have to do it by writing pd. Okay, so दोनों tables में just import pandas. Okay, now in the snippet file, okay, the first thing we'll learn is how to make a data frame. Now, what is a data frame? It's nothing special, it's just another word for a table. Okay, and a table has rows and columns. So like in our this data set, this whole thing would be called a data frame in pandas. Okay, so since data frame is like the more official word used while working with pandas, I'll be using data frame every time, but just know that data frame simply means a table. Okay, and when I say how to make a table, I just mean how to make a data frame. I just mean to say how to make a table of our own. Okay, so any doubts like about data frames? All right, I don't think so, so I'll move on. So there are various ways to make a data frame, a table, but we'll be just looking at one of them, which is pretty common and pretty easy to make and all. And if you want other ways, you can obviously search on YouTube, Google and stuff, and you would know. All the other methods are pretty similar to the one I'm going to use. Okay, there would be just small changes. So what we are going to do is we'll start off by making a dictionary. Okay, and like I'll tell you why I'm choosing the dictionary example. Okay, so here we saw how in dictionary you have a key, and associated with that key you have a lot of values in it, right? Which is exactly similar to how there are things in tables or data frames. You have a column, a single column name like marks, and then inside that column, in that column you have many rows in which there are different marks. So does that make sense? Then you would have a column named name, and there would be name of students, right? You would have something like branch, and you would have their branches. So that's exactly what we are going to do. We are going to make a dictionary in which we will write, in this key value we will write our column name, and for the values we'll write our rows information. Okay, and then we'll make a data frame out of it. So in this snippet file, just name your data frame A. Put curly brackets. Curly brackets are for dictionary, and give an enter. Okay, it should look like this. Okay, now we'll start by giving off the key value, which is also our column name in the table. So just write the exact same things, name. And in name, I'll be making a table of 4 rows and 4 columns. Okay, so I'm giving like 4 values now, 4 names of students of actually SCOSH juniors itself, SCOSH people of second year. So the first name is Soparnika. The second name is Darshit. The third name is Meghna. And the fourth name is like my name, Surya. And now we'll give a comma because like this is one thing, like this is column name and this is all the rows associated with that column, and we will give a column to make another column now. Okay, that column would be named gender. In the gender we'll write everything. So Soparnika is obviously female, Darshit male, Meghna female again, and then Suryam male again, and then we again give a comma. Okay, then we make another column named branch, and again guys, like since there were more than one values, we passed everything inside of a list. Had there been only one value, you would have simply written name : Soparnika, but since many values you put them in a list. Now in branch, so Soparnika is in math, Darshit is in mechanical, now in electrical, and I am also in math. You put a comma here, and then you make another column marks. So Soparnika has 97 marks. Let's say the test was out of 100 or something, doesn't really matter. 52 and 77, and if you run this should run without any problems. So just make this thing and tell me if you get any errors. I believe the code of this would also be like, okay, I'll just provide this thing. Like just try it out and tell me if you get any errors. If you should try on your, if you had done it, tell me. So did anyone make this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Did
no
it
error.
run any problems? Did anyone have any problem? You can literally tell me. Anything, even if it's a comma mistake, I'd be cool with that. So no errors, I believe. Alright, so now we'll be converting this dictionary into a proper table. Okay, the table is again called a data frame, and we'll make a table, and later we'll have to manipulate on this table, right? So while doing manipulation, we would have to call that table every time. So we'll need to store that table in a variable. Now by convention, people use the word df for data frame. Okay, so we'll store everything in a variable called df. And to make a data frame, now data frame is a pandas feature. Okay, so you'll need to call pandas with pd dot, and now you want to make a data frame. So you just write data frame and look at the capitalization. D and F are capital. Okay, and you want to make the data frame of the dictionary you just made, which was A. So df equals to pd dot data frame A. Do a shift plus enter, and this should run as well. Any problems with this?
No, sir.
Cool. Now, like इतना जो भी काम किया, that would give us some fruitful results. Now अपन ये जो data frame बनाया, table बनाया, उसको अपन print करेंगे. For printing, you just write df and then shift plus enter कर दो. I hope you all are getting this table. So ऐसा एक proper table मिल जाएगा, name and then चारों के नाम आ गए, gender and then हम सबके gender, branch and marks वगैरह आ चुके हैं. So ये बना, सबका टेबल बना.
Yes, sir.
So this is how you make a data frame. Okay, you should know this कि कैसे you make a dictionary. उसमें keys में you give the column names, for values you give rows की चीज़ें, and then you do a df equals to pd dot data frame a. इससे ये सारा data table के form में आ जाएगा, and this is how you just print things out. बस pf लिखो और वो print हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Now real life में as you saw we have like हमारा जो data होता है वो like पूरा बड़ा होगा. Okay, you cannot obviously make a dictionary out of like this. You cannot like type in 10,000 rows. ठीक है. You can simply write them in Excel, and if you have the Excel or the CSV file, you can import it in your pandas. So that's what we are going to do. Okay. So come to this main file. We imported pandas here, and now since this is all online and all, so usually we have the file in our system, and we can directly like import it, like read it here if it was like Jupyter Notebook or something like that. But since this is all online, we need to upload our data set in the Google Colab interface. Okay, so for uploading, on the left side you have this 4 things, and the 4th one is the file stuff. You go here, and this arrow thing is the upload thing. So just click on this, and wherever you downloaded the SCOSH dataset file, just double click on it, and just do this, and okay, it will say the uploaded files will get deleted, which we'll see to it later. Just do an okay, and below you can see the file is being loaded, being imported here, and once it will be imported, like यहाँ पे दिखाने लगेगा SCOSH dataset, and it's a .csv file. So इतना सबका हुआ. Any errors, like कुछ problem हो रही है, फिर से बताऊँ? Just ask me. हो गया हो तो भी बता दो, like if you completed it.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry. I'm not able to hear you properly. आवाज कट रही है थोड़ी.
Sir, can you show it again?
Yeah, sure. So the Excel file, we are basically importing it here in Google Colab, and for that, on the left side you have these 4 things, and the 4th one is the file section. Just click on this, and then here this like the arrow thing is the upload thing. You want to upload the file, just click on this, and then wherever you downloaded your SCOSH dataset, just go through that. Like, so I had, and then desktop, and then SCOSH Python workshop, and then there's our dataset, the Excel file, right? So just double click on this, and it will like load and stuff, and then it should show here SCOSH dataset, and it's a .csv file. So .csv.
Sir, where is the SCOSH dataset file, sir?
Like did you download it?
So from where, sir? मैं 2 minute late था, sir.
It's cool. I sent the drive link here in the chat. You can just click on it and download it.
Okay, sir.
Also, it is there in the WhatsApp group.
WhatsApp group पे भी है.
Okay, sir.
I'll continue. If you have any doubts, you may stop me anytime and ask. Okay, so we have imported our dataset into Google Colab. Now we want to make a data frame out of this whole data. Okay, and how do you make a data frame? So just like we did before, df equals to, we want to make a data frame. Okay, so by convention we are giving df again, and so df equals to, we want to make a data frame which is a pandas feature. So pd dot capital D and capital F data frame, and now we want to write the name of the file जिसका data frame बनाना है. So this is SCOSH dataset.csv, DNSR capital. So I'll just write SCOSH dataset.csv, and if you run this, you should not get an error. Just a minute. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. This is not how you do it. I'm so sorry. I just had a blackout moment. You want to read this file in your pandas, Okay, so what you do is df equals to pd dot, you want to read a CSV file. So there's a function for this, read underscore CSV. Okay, you do read underscore CSV and inside write whatever data set का आपको like read करना है pandas में. So SCOSH dataset dot CSV, and if you run this now you should not get any error. I'm so sorry, I have no idea how that happened. Okay, so any doubts still here? Was that guy able to download and upload it?
Yes sir.
Okay, cool. And ये किया data frame बनाया?
बन गया सर.
Cool. किसी को कुछ भी डाउट है? Okay, cool.
No, sir.
So this was a CSV file. That's why the function is read underscore CSV. Pandas also has read underscore XLSX for Excel files, and there are various other functions too. But हमारा data set is CSV, तो हमने read underscore CSV use किया. Now, if we wanna take a look at the data, we know how to do it. Just write df and shift plus enter, and you can see हमारा जो इतना बड़ा data set था, वो अब like proper table में आ चुका है, proper pandas में आ चुका है. So, is this visible to everyone? Like
Yes.
in your own thing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. So
Yes,
now,
sir.
okay. Now by default, when you print out the data, you get the first 5 rows, dot dot dot. It's cutting everything in between because obviously it won't be showing 10,000 rows, and then the last 5 rows. Okay. Now let's see if you wanna. Let's assume you wanna take a look at only the first 5 rows. So there's a function for that, df dot head, and if you run this, you can take a look at the first 5 like rows, and it shows you like customer ID 1 2 3 4 5, the products they bought, the quantity ordered, prices, everything we saw is here. Okay. ये मैंने zoom in किया इसलिए like yeah.
Sir, one question, sir. Like if we run this on the pie chart, then also it will come like dot dot dot, or it will show everything.
No, dot dot dot. Everywhere it will show dot dot dot.
Okay.
Are you running on PyCharm?
No, sir. On the Google only.
Okay. Like this was one thing I kind of wanted to discuss, like things like VS Code. Even I use VS Code, and PyCharm. These things are not exactly used for data science purposes because, like जैसा हमने NumPy में देखा, you want to write codes and आपको उसी के नीचे you want their values. ठीक है, analysis पूरा वैसे ही होता है. But with like VS Code and PyCharm and all, आप like पूरा code लिखते हो and then run करते हो तो एक चीज़ आता है. So exactly data science इसमें करना is not possible. Initially I didn't know about all of these things, so मैंने pandas को VS Code में चलाया, and you can see कि मुझे हर चीज़ को kind of comment out करना पड़ा लिखने के बाद, क्योंकि दो codes exactly cannot run, तो ये सब commented out किया मैंने, अगर दो चीज़ें चली नहीं रही थी तो मैंने question लिखा, मतलब मैंने codes लिखे and then उसे comment किया, then अगला code लिखा, comment किया. So that's why VS Codes and these are not used. So you can use like Jupyter Notebook. ये Anaconda पूरा like proper download करना होता है, setup करना होता है. It has a lot of problems in it, इसलिए I was not sure कि तुम सब लोग कर पाओगे या नहीं. And then someone suggested this Google Colab thing. That's why we are using it. वरना like yeah, someone wanted to ask something. Okay, वरना there's this Jupyter Notebook. मैंने ये सब चीज़ें इस पे भी किया हुआ है. And like the problem you could probably face while first starting with this is, यहाँ पे जो kernel होता है ना, वो kernel ready नहीं होगा. Kernel अभी ready लिखाया था, किसी ने देखा हो तो वो कभी ready नहीं होता है. ये trusted की जगह untrusted आता है. There was a time जब मुझे VPN use करना पड़ रहा था ये चलाने के लिए. So there could be problems, but usually सब लोग ये use करते हैं. ठीक है, मैंने यहीं पे पूरा practice किया है मेरा. This is all what we are going to do.
Okay, sir.
So you might want to look into Jupyter Notebook, how to download it properly, like with YouTube and all. And what errors you should get it, like सबको आते हैं शुरू में. So you'll also get. I'm also getting a lot of like follow requests on Instagram, so that's nice. Okay. So to look at the first 5 rows, you do df.head. Okay, by default it gives the first 5 rows. and let's say for some reason you want to look at the first 10 rows, so you just pass whatever number you want in the head parameter and you will get the first 10 rows in it. Okay, for looking at the last 5 rows, you have the function like head it would be tail. So if you do df.tail, so last key you would get 5 rows, and again like last के like I don't know 15 देखने हैं, so df.tail 15 and last के 15 दिखाएंगे, ठीक है. So ये सब you can run and play around with stuff. So we'll simply have df.head for right now. Now just like NumPy, we'll look at some like basic functions in the data frame. We will apply some basic functions to our data frame, and you might want to do this when you have just imported the data. I'll tell you how. So we imported this whole big data set, and we want to kind of summarize it. Okay, so these are some of the functions we can use to summarize our data frame. So there's just like NumPy, pandas also has this shape attribute. If you run this, you get 9697,8, which is we also saw in this gives the number of rows and number of columns, which we saw in the Excel file too. So you have 9697 rows and 8 columns. So you when you import it, you might want to know like how many rows and columns you have. For like in Excel you had to count and then you had to go till the last row and then see. Here you can simply write this one function and directly numbers आपके सामने आ जाएंगे. So this was df.shape. There's this function df.info. What this gives is it gives you all the column names. So you have customer ID, product, you have quantity ordered, you have price each, you have purchase address, salary, whether they do competitive coding or not, the languages they have worked with, and then how many rows are there. So all these are 9697 because we have 9697 rows, and all these are like non-null content. Okay, so every single row has some value in it. Okay, that's why there's an important thing in data science and data analysis known as data cleaning, where you have null values, so you get problems while applying mathematical stuff, you know. But this is like a proper data set, and intentionally I did not have any like missing values so that we don't get any problems while analyzing it. But like for learning how to clean data and all, we'd be going to a different notebook and we'd have एक छोटा सा different data frame again. जैसे यहाँ पे बनाया है ना, ऐसा ही will make वहाँ पे जानबूझ के अपन missing values डालेंगे and then उसको clean करेंगे. यहाँ पे you would not have any problems.
So means like what is your normal count?
So basically pandas recognizes 2 of the values as kind of missing. Those are NaN values, which are not a number, and then there's this none, N-O-N-E, none. None simply means just kuch nahi hai. Okay, so when you have these missing values, let's say okay, like we saw in the Excel that when we open the CSV file with Excel, you get this thing, some features might be lost because you have this workbook saved in CSV and it wants us to use in Excel format. Okay, we kind of did this thing again. हमने CSV file को pandas में डाला, and there real life में ऐसा होता है when you import data, तो there might be some rows जिसकी like values for some reason change हो गई, ठीक है. So there might be some rows जो waste होंगी, ठीक है. And अगर ये waste row के साथ you try to do calculations तो नहीं होता है, ठीक है. जैसे you have this salary column, right? So you have 50,000, 8,000 and all, everything. And let's say you want to find the mean salary. Okay, so if you think कि मैं directly function लगा दूंगा और मुझे mean मिल जाएगा, so that is true, मिल जाएगा. But let's say बीच में you have a NaN value, not a number. We'll see later exactly NaN होता क्या, you'd be able to understand it. But let's just say you have it, so आपको error दिखा देगा कि you cannot calculate the mean because बीच में कहीं पे NaN values है. So you would want to completely drop that row जहाँ पे NaN है. So this is all is known as data cleaning, क्योंकि importing exporting के time पे कुछ problems आती हैं.
Okay.
So जानबूझ के मैंने नेट से उठाया obviously data. So and मैंने ऐसा ही select किया कि कुछ problem ना आए. Okay, so this gives you all the column names and their data types. So customer ID is integer. Product, this is all is object. What exactly objects are, I'm not really sure, but the internet says it's like either string or it's like a mixture of things. Okay, so just know that these are not exactly numbers and integers. They may be string or something else. Okay, salary is integer, and then these two are objects again. Cool. Any problems?
No, sir.
Okay, and now there's this df.describe function. If you run this, then pandas will try to look at all the columns which kind of have numerical data in it, and it will give you these features, like it will give you the count of them. So we have 9,900 whatever rows, like the same salary. We'll get the mean. Now mean of customer ID doesn't make any sense because customer ID is almost like serial numbers of 1 2 3 4, so this data doesn't really matter. Okay, but you probably want to know कि salary जितनी भी salaries लिखी गई है उन सबका mean क्या है. So you can see it's 9.69 something into 10 to the power 4. So around like 96,000 is like the mean salary. Okay, and then STD is standard deviation. Standard deviation variance is something you study in statistics. If you don't really know what it exactly means, that's completely fine. But just know that describe function gives standard variation too. It gives the minimum value. So like again, customer ID में minimum maximum doesn't make any sense. But with salary, you know कि minimum salary किसी बंदे की 0 है, and there's this guy जिसकी like I don't know, looks like 2 million, 2 crore कुछ तो है ये, ठीक है? So maximum salary ये है किसी की. Then you get this 25%, 50%, 75% thing. These are actually quartiles. So this is first quartile, this is second quartile, this is third quartile. Quartiles, interquartiles, these are also something you study in statistics. So don't worry about this. Just for now, know that ये जो 50% है, this is actually your median. Okay, so median of customer ID again doesn't make a lot of sense, but ये salary इसका median ये है, around 50,000, exactly 50,000 actually. So basically like when you import a data, these are some of the functions you might want to run. आपको like shape देख के जानना है कि मैं कितने rows के साथ deal कर रहा हूँ, कितने columns के साथ deal कर रहा हूँ. You want to find the info कि मेरे जो भी मेरा जो भी columns हैं उसका data type वगैरह क्या है and all. And then describe function to get this like छोटा सब like mean क्या है, median क्या है, maximum, minimum क्या है. So ये describe function directly दे देगा. And this all helps you to like kind of get a sense of your data कि आपने जो भी डाला है. Obviously ये देख कुछ पता नहीं चल रहा क्या हो रहा है, क्या है ये सब. But like describe function kind of tells you stuff. So any doubt with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. So now the thing was, मैं एक्चुअली यहाँ पे इस डेटा फ्रेम में फंक्शंस अप्लाई करने वाला हूँ एंड देन उस फंक्शंस का काइंड ऑफ एप्लीकेशन यहाँ दिखाने वाला हूँ. बट लाइक उतना इनफ टाइम नहीं है. सो अगर इफ आई स्टार्ट तो लाइक थोड़ा वियर्ड हो जाएगा, इससे मैं बीच में ही बता दूंगा. तो सो लाइक आई वाज थिंकिंग कि यहाँ पर एंड कर देते हैं एंड देन कल मैं यहाँ से कंटिन्यू करूँगा. सो इज दैट लाइक कूल? बिकॉज अगर मैं थोड़ा सा इसे स्टार्ट कर दूंगा तो वो काइंड ऑफ बीच में अटका टाइप रह जाएगा. कल एकदम शुरू से करेंगे तो फिर एक सब प्रॉपर याद रहेगा कि अभी क्या पढ़ा, यहाँ अप्लाई कैसे किया, फिर और क्या पढ़ा और अप्लाई कैसे किया एंड ऑल. सो इज दैट लाइक कूल? अगर एंड कर दे, आई वुड से एंड कर देना चाहिए. बाकी यू गाइस से
Yes, sir, no problem.
Yes, sir, no problem.
ओके. 2.5 घंटा आई फील लाइक गुड इनफ टाइम. यू ऑल ठीक है. तो लाइक एंड हो गया सेशन. इफ यू वांट टू आस्क एनीथिंग यू मे just do a control S on both the files, although it auto saves, but just to be sure, desi people and all. So just एक बार save कर दो and you may close the notebooks. If you want to open them again you may, but आपको like okay, I'll just show you guys something. So let's say आपने बंद कर दिया and you want to open the thing again. So if you do it and SCOSH pandas main, it will sometimes it won't be connected, so you would want to manually click on the connect thing. so it will get connected. Just make sure this is connected. And if I try to run this, I hope this doesn't run. I want this to not run. Last time it ran. Okay, so maybe this was just like closed recently, that's why it's working. But what will happen after some time is this SCOSH dataset would get deleted from here. Okay, so that's fine. You can upload it again from here. But this does happen. Like this would get deleted. If you remember, you got like a message something that files would be like deleted something. That's what it meant. So even if this get deleted, that's fine. You can just upload the thing again and you can do a restart and run all, and आपका सब कुछ run किया हुआ वापस आ जाएगा. So this is what all I wanted to tell you. Any questions, like anything you wanna ask before we end this thing? So
सर हमने जो शेव फंक्शन यूज किया सर उसमें हमने पैरेंथेसिस यूज नहीं किया था सर. आफ्टर शेव फंक्शन हमने पैरेंथेसिस यूज नहीं किया था सर. व्हाई इज दैट?
So yeah, so there are two things. So there are attributes and there are functions. You need to call functions, okay? And for calling, you write you do the parenthesis thing, okay? These are attributes and these don't require parentheses. That's why in NumPy, if you notice, there was this item size and size. These were attributes, so we didn't put any parentheses. And that's why intentionally in the markdowns I wrote how to make 1D array and basic attributes and functions. So things like shape, item size, these are attributes. You don't really call them, so no need to put parentheses. Actually, you don't have to put parentheses. And in this all is like functions, so you need to. Did you get it? You may wanna look at these things on the internet too, to like yeah, just know stuff. Yeah, like D type this doesn't have, endim doesn't have, shape doesn't have. These are all attributes. So yeah.
Okay, got it, sir.
Like flatten is a function, so you need to like yeah, like this. So any more doubts? Anything else? Anything you want to talk about? How, where to learn something?
Sir, one question, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like it's written that RAM is using like Python 3 Google backend. So it is using our RAM or it's like
I have no idea. I started working on this Google collab like 3 years ago. I figured out that you all won't be able to work with Jupyter notebooks. Otherwise, I like made everything on Jupyter notebooks.
It's Google. Yes.
Yeah, it's Google, like obviously. But yeah.
I think virtual RAM.
Yeah, it's Google. Google's only virtual RAM, right?
Yeah. So any other thing?
So in this data frames, all the informations are mostly to the right side, sir. Can you see it?
Sorry, I'm not able to understand. Yeah.
So in data frames, all these informations like the names and all the values are slightly to the right side, sir. Means starting from the right side.
Right side, yeah.
So can you make it to the left side or center?
Like this thing. Like this is right side, right? Like the alignment.
Yes, the alignment.
I'm not really sure. I'll look into it. I guess if you do it in Excel and then import it, it will be corrected. But I'll look into this and I'll discuss this tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
See, like, okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Sir, will you be sharing this collab file, both the one which you worked on today?
If you want, yes, I can share it. Like, should I share it today itself? I was thinking ki कल जब पूरा खत्म हो जाएगा, so I'll share everything, and there were some YouTube videos which are really good जिससे मैंने भी सीखा. I'll share that too. So या फिर I can do is
like I was thinking that at least NumPy वाला
NumPy,
share कर देना.
yeah. So okay, मैं NumPy का भेज दूंगा, and like okay, just one minute. So while I was practicing for you guys कि exactly बनाना कैसे है, तो मैं I'll send you these 3 files. ये मेरा practice किया गया है. This has a little bit more things. इसमें और चीज़ें हैं थोड़ा, मैंने सब नहीं दिखाया होगा. So this will have a lot of stuff. So I'll share this. These 3 files I'll share it with you like now itself, like after this meeting ends.
Okay. Thank you.
Cool.
Feel free to ask anything, okay? Like फाइल चाहिए दे देंगे, like there is no issue with that. You try to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like हम चाहते हैं कि आप लोग खुद से करो, अगर नहीं हो रहा फिर ask us, then we'll give the file. That would be better. That was our idea, because अगर हम स्पून फीडिंग करेंगे तो आप लोग ट्राई नहीं करोगे, गलतियाँ नहीं करोगे, फिर आस्क नहीं करोगे, राइट? मेन आइडिया.
Also, we were planning to share the recording after the workshop ends, like after both the days, but many people are asking to refer it, so we'll try sharing it. Okay.
Or also like tomorrow session we will start early because we will have a small doubt session for you guys. Like आज जो भी पढ़ाया है वो एक बार ट्राई करके देखो, कुछ डाउट आ रहा है वो भी कल पूछ सकते हो आप पहले. Like if you have any doubts, come early tomorrow. We can sort that out before the session.
Yeah, and tomorrow also we are having a expert talk, or what do you say, a session from our senior who has been recently placed at Deloitte, USA. So you can ask him also what to pursue, how to pursue in future. Okay.
Would that you all guys will join? I expect everyone to join who were there today. It will be a great session tomorrow, more interesting. Like आज NumPy जैसे पढ़ा है उससे भी बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग और ये हो जाएगा, क्या बोलते हैं, सिंपलर तरीके से आपको पढ़ाएंगे हम डेटा, क्या बोलते हैं, बाकी जो भी हम पढ़ा रहे.
If you wanna kind of take a look कि kind of क्या होगा, I can just show you guys. So this is like just छोटा वाला data. So just let it connect and run in a while. Also मुझे जो error दिखाना था, so I opened this file NumPy to practice. ये मैंने बहुत टाइम पहले खुद से प्रैक्टिस किया था. by बहुत टाइम पहले I just mean 2 दिन, but मैं कुछ ज़्यादा टाइम स्पेंड कर रहा हूँ इस पे, so it feels a lot of time. So when you like run a random code, it will show name A is not defined. That's because like बहुत टाइम बाद खोलते हो तो ऐसा होता है. So if you do a restart and run all, so now this will run. So just make sure कि यहाँ पे connected है, कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम होता है just take restart and run all लगा दो, सब कुछ like correct हो जाएगा. And now वो A not defined वो सब अब नहीं आ रहा और पूरा चल जाएगा. या कोई कुछ पूछ रहा है?
नहीं.
Cool. जैसे अपन कल क्या करने वाले हैं, ओवरव्यू टाइप है.
कुछ और पूछना है पूछ लो. Like if you have any doubts, any more thing, you can ask freely. We will be here. Otherwise, अरे Suryam, can you give your number also if they want to ask you something regarding through WhatsApp or something?
Suryam is in the group, right?
Yeah, okay, fine. He is in the group, fine. So if you guys are doing something, yeah, like अगर रात को कुछ कर रहे हो, डाउट हो रहा है उसके रिलेटेड, पाइथन के रिलेटेड, तो फील फ्री टू राइट इट इन द ग्रुप. ओके, वी विल बी रिप्लाइंग यू. Suryam, me or Om, somebody will be replying to you.
Yeah, and it's like preferable अगर ग्रुप पे ही कर दो ताकि दूसरे लोगों को भी पता चले.
Yeah, good.
And if you wanna see कल क्या करने वाले, तो अभी तक हमने यहाँ तक किया, हमने जस्ट एक डेटा फ्रेम बनाया. कल we will see how to access columns and rows. तो ये नेम चाहिए था तो नेम मिल गया, नेम और मार्क्स चाहिए थे तो नेम और मार्क्स मिल गए. एंड रोज को कैसे एक्सेस करते हैं, अगर हमें लाइक लेट्स से सेकंड इंडेक्स, सो दिस वन, हमें ये सब देखना हो तो वी विल सी कि नेम मेघना है, जेंडर फीमेल, इलेक्ट्रिकल एंड ऑल, 2 लोगों का देखना हो, 2 लोगों का देखना और एक पर्टिकुलर कॉलम वगैरह देखना हो तो ये सब देखेंगे. बेसिकली iloc और loc फंक्शंस देखेंगे, सुपर इंपॉर्टेंट विद pandas. and then we'll see filtering कुछ conditions के हिसाब से अगर चाहिए हो. So basically we want information of those people जो जहाँ पे gender is equal to male, तो ये male मिल गया, branch math है, math वालों का मिल गया, marks less than 50 है वो मिल गया, and this stuff. ये basically एक and operator और एक or operator का example I'm gonna tell you guys. Then updating and modifying rows and columns. So नेम यहाँ पे लाइक नेम जेंडर ब्रांच ऐसा सब है, उसको अपन ने फर्स्ट नेम जेंडर की जगह m/f, ब्रांच की जगह डिग्री कोर्स, ये सब कर दिया. सो दिस इज एक शो आई डोंट नो, बेसिकली दिस रीनेम थिंग इज देयर डिग्री कोर्स को फिर से. तो बेसिकली रीनेम कैसे करते हैं, विल लुक एट दीज फंक्शंस. देन रोज को कैसे मॉडिफाई करते हैं. तो यहाँ पे लाइक मेरा नाम था एंड देन मैंने ऋषभ केमिस्ट्री ये सब डाला, तो मेरी जगह अब ऋषभ केमिस्ट्री वगैरह आ गया है, एंड देन फिर से चेंज करना है लॉल. तो ये सब अपन देखेंगे. देन कॉलम्स एंड रोज को ऐड कैसे करना है वो सब देखेंगे, कुछ एग्जांपल्स देखेंगे. और ये सब जैसे जैसे यहाँ पे करते जा रहे हैं करस्पॉन्डिंगली जो मेन बड़ा डेटा है वहाँ पे लाइक थोड़ा थोड़ा अपन लाइक एप्लीकेशन देखेंगे कि बड़े डेटा सेट पे सब कुछ कैसे होता है. देन रोज को कैसे मॉडिफाई करते हैं, एंड देन रोज को ड्रॉप कैसे करते हैं, कॉलम्स को कैसे ड्रॉप करते हैं. सॉर्टिंग लाइक इतने सारे जो कॉलम्स हैं उन्हें बाय वैल्यू सॉर्ट करना होता है. यहाँ पे बाय नेम यहाँ पे बाय नेम सॉर्ट किया तो पहले लाइक डी से दर्शित, एम से मेघना, देन एस दोनों सेम है तो लाइक ए देखा फिर यू देखा, ऑल दिस स्टफ. एंड इसके बाद लाइक एक ग्रुप बाय फंक्शन होता है, दैट इज सुपर इम्पॉर्टेंट, बट वो लाइक समझ नहीं आएगा इतने बड़े डेटा सेट पे. तो एक छोटा सा डेटा सेट बनाएंगे उस पर देखेंगे, एंड देन क्लीनिंग डेटा पे ही अलग सेट पे देखेंगे. So this is all the stuff there is for tomorrow. Yeah,
like NumPy के जैसे pandas is also a very good library for data handling and all that. So do attend tomorrow.
like you do machine learning, right? Machine learning में आपके पास data set होता है और data set को import वगैरह करना, we just saw now. You can like import, अगर आपके पास एक Excel फाइल हो, now you can import, right? df equals to pd.read_csv और फाइल का नाम दे दो. एंड ऐसे ही डेटा में छोटे छोटे चेंजेस करने हो, सो यू नीड टू नो NumPy एंड pandas. न्यूरल नेटवर्क्स में आप इंपोर्ट करोगे एंड देन मैंने आई जस्ट टोल्ड यू कि परसेप्ट्रॉन जैसा कुछ होता है और आपको लाइक एक सीधी लाइन में चाहिए होता है. सो यू एक्चुअली पीपल डू दिस, ऐसे रीशेप -1, लगाते हैं. सो आई मीन यू नीड टू नो ऑल दिस.
एक मशीन लर्निंग का पहला बेसिक स्टेप ऐसा होता है कि अपने डेटा को क्लीन करना. लाइक वी डोंट वांट अनवांटेड स्टफ्स इन बिटवीन. लाइक कुछ में क्या होता है कि एरर दिखाते, कुछ डेटा में कुछ इनपुट नहीं किया जाता. तो जब बड़े डेटा सेट आपको दिया जाता है तब पहला स्टेप मशीन लर्निंग का ऐसा होता है कि डेटा सेट को प्रॉपरली क्लियर करो ताकि देयर में भी नो डिस्क्रिपेंसीज इन बिटवीन. सो इसीलिए हम ये बेसिक आपको छोटे डेटा सेट से पढ़ा रहे हैं. उसके बाद जब आप बड़े डेटा सेट में इसको अप्लाई करोगे तब आपको ज़्यादा इम्पैक्ट फील करेगा उसका. आई होप अब सबको समझ में आ गया होगा क्या मैं मीन कर रहा था. लाइक एज इफ दोस पीपल हु आर फॉलोइंग.
सही है.
अच्छा,
It's kind of not loading वरना like there are these NaN values, not a number values, जो मैंने जानबूझ के एक नया डेटा सेट बनाया है उसमें डालिए. there are these none values and then जानबूझ के there are these values. like it's like किसी को सर्वे भरने के लिए दिया हो और उसने like missing लिख के छोड़ दिया हो, या फिर where is it, wait, like NA लिख के छोड़ दिया हो, not applicable, या एक डैश मार के छोड़ दिया हो. now these are also like kind of missing values. तो like custom values के साथ डील करना, ये सब are official values. none and np.nan जो pandas रिकॉग्नाइज कर सकता है तो इनको क्लीन करना. बेसिकली ड्रॉप na फंक्शन होता है तो जो भी फालतू वैल्यूज थी वो ड्रॉप हो जाएंगी. इंडेक्स वगैरह देखना, कैसे डिलीट करना है वो सब देखना, एंड देन बेसिकली फिल करना. सो बीच में लाइक अगर ऐसे नन लिखा है, na लिखा है, दिस काइंड ऑफ लुक अगली, सो देयर इज दिस फिल na फीचर जिससे वो सब लाइक डैश बन जाएगा. सो दिस लुक्स काइंड ऑफ बेटर. अगर न्यूमेरिकल डेटा है तो यू कैन पुट जीरोज. सो ऐसी सब चीज़ें विल सी टुमारो. ग्रुप बाय फंक्शन इज आल्सो अ थिंग, वो भी कल देखेंगे.
कल इज एन इम्पोर्टेंट सेशन. आज हम लोगों के लिए फाउंडेशन रख के जा रहे हैं हम. टुमारो वी विल हैव अ बेटर ग्रिप ओवर द ऑल द आइडियाज, लाइक बेटर ग्रिप ओवर द सब्जेक्ट आई वुड से मोर ओवर.
आई डिडंट रियलाइज मेरा कैमरा ही चालू नहीं था, सॉरी. बट या सो ये सब होगा कल. सो yeah, I guess Siddharth, SCOSH you wanna Siddharth Om you wanna